Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been well over 7 months since I came into Australia, and today I promised to, in my previous video, I promised to share it all, be it all, about life here in Australia as an international student. So guys, I want you to sit down, relax, get a cup of tea, get a cup of juice, get a cup of anything you like, water, and let's enjoy this video together. So guys, I wanted to do this while I'm fixing up my makeup, but I just heard a loud noise outside now. The cleaners are cleaning the lobby, so I'll just wrap up my makeup and then I'll come back to you. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to your girl. Subscribe, click the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. So many news, so many information will be rolling out from this channel. As you can hear the noise, guys, I'll see you later, okay? So guys, I am done, all glammed up and ready to talk to you. So, first of all, I will start by saying I came to Australia on a student visa, and like I said earlier, life has been very beautiful, that I wished I had come earlier. And so how did I get things running? Coming from the UAE to Australia all by myself, without family, without knowing anybody, without having any friend, and so on. So when I got to the airport, I'll start by saying that when I got to the airport, everything was strange. It was really my first time traveling alone, and I had this confidence in me that, yeah, I can do it. So when I got into the airport, I first started by changing some money. I came with a few $1,000s with me, US dollars, by the way, with me. So I started by changing my money. I think I changed about 200 US dollars, and then I changed it into an Australian dollar. So I came out of the airport, and then I used a bus, an airport transfer bus called Sky Bus. So I drove in this bus and I could see the beautiful city. I could see the beautiful city of Melbourne. It was amazing. In the morning, it was beautiful. And I got to the bus stop, and then I could remember pulling my bags on the road without knowing where to go to, and then I was lost because I had this hotel booking on my hand, and then I was trying to find this hotel. And by the way, did I mention that I'm a map? I don't really know how to read the map very well then. So I started by asking a couple of people I found on the road, and that was around 2 o'clock in the morning. I was so surprised that everywhere was still bubbling. There were a lot of students going up and down the road. I saw people, food outlets still opened and all that. Well, it's not a strange thing to me because I came from the UAE and things are really like that at that time of the morning. So I could remember asking somebody on the road that I was looking for so and so hotel. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know this place." I'm like, okay. So, because according to my calculation, before I left the UAE, from where I'm going to stop to where I'm going is not really far. So there was no point of me using the taxi. So I wanted to go into the country with this mindset of a hustler, So I really landed with that spirit. So at the end of the day, I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. I kept on missing my way. I got to my hotel finally. So my hotel is more like a backpackers hotel, more like a student backpackers hotel. So there were a whole lot of students in that place. And by the way, I still have a couple of days more in that place. Because I didn't finish my stay. I was supposed to stay for like a week, but I think I stayed for like 4 days. I was supposed to stay for 7 days, so I stayed for 4 days. Well, fast forward into the whole hotel drama. I put my bags, I took a shower and all that. So the next day, I started by going to look for a bank. So I was in the city, in the CBD actually. So getting the bank was not a problem at all. The only thing I needed to do was just to walk around and all that. And mind you, lest I forget, when I dropped my bag in the morning, when I got there, I came outside after taking a shower and all that, walking around because I could still see the city was bubbling, at that time. So I was walking around and then I got to know some places in the CBD where I could come in the next day to open my bank account and all that. So the next morning, I started walking around. Then I went into this bank. So prior to that, I had already Googled what are the best banks in Australia. So I just walked into the best, I must say. So I opened my account and then I deposited my remaining funds with me because I came with US dollars. So I deposited the remaining into the bank and then life started from there. 10 days later, I got my ATM card. 4 days into my stay in Australia, I filed for my tax file number, and what else did I do? And then I started house hunting. I was looking for a house everywhere because I wanted to stay not so far from my school. And then I went to see a couple of houses, and finally I was able to call up my friend, and then we hung out, and then I started to stay with my friend before I now left my friend's place to stay by myself. So I stayed with my friend for about a month or so, and she was very amazing, by the way. She was very amazing. Lest I say, my friend was the friend I knew prior to coming into Australia during my days in Nigeria in Unilag, So after doing all of this, I started to job hunt, and I had an amazing CV, by the way. So landing a job wasn't very difficult for me because I think I came into Australia on the 8th of October, and on the 17th of October or 14th of October, I already started working. Yeah, I already started working. 14th of October, I already started working my first job. And 17th of October, I started working my second job. So life was just amazing. Like, I landed properly. Prior to coming, I had Googled all the things I needed to know, all the things I needed to have. And then I went straight into, the driving license thing because your girl didn't come to suffer, So when it comes to transportation in Australia, having a car, I wouldn't say is a luxury. I would say having a car is a must because of the transportation. The transport system here is beautiful, but then again, having to jump from bus to the train is kind of stressful. It's quite stressful. So I would advise you, if you're coming to Australia or coming into Melbourne, which is the city that I am, try to get your license, your international license that you can convert into an Australian license. So for me, I did not have my international license, or let me say I had it, but it expired already. So I had to go straight into starting from the beginning, starting from scratch. I did my test, my hazard perception test, how the test that comes with driving basically, and then I made an appointment for my driving test. Well, let me quickly talk about the driving test. It's quite tricky because when I made the appointment, I started to practice because I already knew how to drive, by the way, so it wasn't a very difficult thing. But the difficult thing was driving in Australia, driving in a country whose driver's seat is, where's that seat, by the way? Whose driver's seat is by the right hand side. Oh, yeah. So it was quite challenging for me. I could still remember driving one day, and then I'm supposed to drive by the left because everything here is go left, go left, go left. So I was already used to driving by the right hand side, and then one day I was driving by, coming to my home, and then I lost it completely. I couldn't even remember, am I supposed to be on the right side? I'm supposed to be on the left side. A car was approaching me, and then I was totally lost. At that point, everything just flew out of my brain. Like, what the hell is going on? What's going on? And the car was coming with full force and full speed. So I just had to move to the other side of the road and park. And she was so aggressive. She was like, because she expected I should know where to drive my own lane. So if you're coming, just know that you have to always use the left-hand side while driving. That's your lane. So yeah, and so many other times I've made that mistake as well, and I've made a mistake of I'm not gonna say that on camera, by the way. Yeah, so that's it about the driving. So after like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I booked a test. I postponed the booking, the driving test. I postponed the booking until almost 4 to 5 months. And prior to this driving test, I already bought my car. So I was practicing with my car. Yeah. So, and then I was slated for the driving test. I did the first one, I didn't pass. I did the first one, I didn't pass. No, the first one was me going to Vic Road, because Vic Road is the Victoria Road, yeah? The first one I went to Vic Road, and then when I started my car, after putting everything in order, the lady told me, oh, I'm so sorry, we cannot continue with your test today, and because your lights, your headlights, one of your headlights is not working. I'm like, yo, this thing was working before I left the house. How come it's no longer working? So I said, okay, today is not my day, today is not my day, today is not my day. I went back home. And then when I got home, surprisingly, the headlight was working. So I'm a child of God, so I knew, okay, everything that happens in this world, we have the spiritual, the supernatural, and the physical, so I was like, okay, it wasn't my day, so let me just go home, so I went home. When I got home, I scheduled for another day, and guess what, guys? Another location, and I failed. Yes, I failed. And then I rescheduled again for the next week, same day for the next week. And that was when I passed my driving test. And then I got my congratulatory envelope that says, congratulations, you've now passed, blah, blah, blah. I was so excited. I was really happy because it was a tough journey. Moving forward, let me talk about something strange that I noticed here. That's the difference between the Australian Amazon and the UAE Amazon. So I started shopping because I like to shop a lot. I like to buy something, shop. Shopping is like it's a therapeutic thing for me, So I opened my Amazon Australia, and then I started to shop. And then I got some things, and then it was time for the delivery. I was shocked that I didn't get a message that your package... Okay, yeah, I got a message that your package is arriving, but they literally just dropped my package outside without calling me to tell me your package has been dropped. That was a shock to me. In the UAE, when I order things on Amazon, prior to coming, they'll let you know that they are coming, and then by the time they're delivering, if they don't find you at home, they will call you. That's the norm for me. But it's quite strange here. from my own experience, by the way, disclaimer, that's my own experience. It's quite strange for me to find out that they can just drop my package without calling me. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? The first time I came outside, I saw my package. I'm like, what? Why would you just drop my things outside? What if it gets stolen or something? So it's quite strange. I had to write to Amazon on a number of times, calling them to tell them, okay, guys, I had to literally tell them to put a note under my account that whenever I make an order, call me to give you an instruction on where to put my package. Don't just drop my package anyhow, because you never can tell, So I'm glad to say that the first person didn't actually follow the instruction. So the same thing happened. I came back and my package was nowhere to be found. And I'm glad now to say they are now following instruction. The delivery companies are now following instructions. Now when they drop the package, they call me. Or they send me a video or something to let me know your package is here. Or is somewhere. Or it has been placed in the mailbox or anything. So yeah, that's about Amazon. And there's this saying that when Australia is like an animal kingdom or whatever, strange animal, wild animal and all that. So I used to hear this a lot prior to moving here. And they made me feel like, especially when you go on the internet makes you feel like if you see some spiders just going to pop up on your butt, or you're just going to have snake rolling around your toilets and all that. So I had this year coming into Australia, but so far so good. I must say, apart from the pets that we have, which is cats, dogs, and majorly cats and dog, I've really not come across any animal, snake, call it, name it, on the road or in my house, or a spider. Well, I only saw a spider once in my house. Yeah, only once. But it's not as big as they make me feel like a spider is going to be a giant or something. So yeah, I've only seen a spider once, and I've not really seen any major animal, It may also be because of the area which I stay, the suburb which I stay. It's not very far from the city. So yeah, that could be a reason. However, some time ago, I was driving past a very rural area, and I saw two times like that. I saw kangaroos, dead kangaroos, by the way, on the road. Probably the kangaroo came out from nowhere, and then some vehicle just hit the kangaroo. But I've only seen dead kangaroo in my whole 7 months of staying right here in Melbourne. Right. So that's about that. So I've really been busy with school, with work, with my course. My course is one hell of a technical course, a very serious one at that. Especially when you have to deal with people, it's quite serious. And what else do I want to talk about? So yeah, that's how I got my life running here in Melbourne. So a whole lot of things has happened, which I'm going to be discussing about in my next video. And also let me know what you'd like me to talk about in my next video. Just put your comments under this video, and then I'm going to be talking about it. Well, so far so good. I must say Melbourne is a beautiful place to stay. Talking about the weather is amazing. I am someone who really doesn't like snow, and yeah, it does snow in some parts, but it's not everywhere. And need I say that the weather here is quite different from the weather from other parts of the world, because when the other parts of the world are in winter, we are probably in summer. And here in Melbourne, we have about 4 seasons in a day. Yeah, you heard me right. 4 seasons in a day. In a day, it could rain. It could be cloudy. Sunshine. So we have a very dramatic weather right here in Melbourne. Nowadays, it's the weather is fluctuating between 7 degrees, 6 degrees, up to 17, 19, 20 degrees, and today is the 1st of May, so technically we are approaching the winter season up until August here in Australia. Must I say again, when I came in last year, I came in October, and even from then, from October until December, it was raining. Yes, it was raining. It was really raining. It was cold as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful weather, I must say. I must give it up to them. It's a beautiful weather. And getting a house here, you must be strong, because getting a house right here in Melbourne is technical. Is like writing an exam. Is like writing a CV. Before you can get a house, you have to write a CV, like you will write a CV to get a house. Yeah, a CV, because housing is a major problem here. It's not easy to really find a house, and if you find one, you have to probably up your budget, or probably make your offer higher than the rest of the house seekers, you know. And then when you find the house and then you put your offer, it's up to the owner of the house to either say yes, we accept, or no, we do not accept. So it's very, very, very technical as well. Yeah. But to God be the glory, I was able to find a house for myself. So here, that's out of the way. So the whole housing problem or housing drama is out of my head. And in my coming video, I'm going to be talking about how I've been able to juggle school and work. And this time around, I will really be telling you about how I started my process, what I did, what I did not do, how I wrote my this, how I wrote my that, how I got into Australia. So until then, I remain your girl, Joy. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel again. Like I say, I need your subscription. And I'll be posting my social media handles so you can follow. Like the TikTokers will say, follow and follow. Yeah, so yeah, guys. So thank you guys for watching today's episode. Until next time.